What is gender, and how should it be measured? Gender is the state of being a male or female. When one measures gender, there are more things to consider than just body parts and chromosomes. One needs to look at gender typing, sexual orientation, and gender identity. Gender typing puts males in traditional masculine roles of strength, aggression, and dominance, and puts the female into a traditional feminine role, such as one with a passive type personality, a subordinate, or a nurturer. When we look at these traditional roles, we see a male as the breadwinner of the family, whereas we see a female as the homemaker. Boys play with cars and girls play with dolls. Androgynous roles are a blending of both types of traditional roles. Gender identity is what sex an individual sees himself or herself. A transgender person identifies different from their assigned sex. Some people may simply dress the part of the opposite sex, or if they desire, they can seek medical assistance to transition from one sex to the other. Sexual orientation is the direction of a person's sexual attraction. The heterosexual, or relationship with the opposite sex, is the more traditional type of sexual orientation and is widely accepted throughout all cultures and all countries, whereas homosexual and bisexual relationships are not as widely accepted in most cultures. Fortunately, these two types of relationships are becoming more accepted. So, I put all of the terms into perspective to come to the question of how should gender be measured. My answer is more of a complex answer because it's going to be dependent upon the situation. Let us first consider sports. Is it fair to allow a male athlete to compete on a female team, such as for track or for volleyball? Maybe this question should be rephrased. Would a male team allow a female to participate in a male sporting event? More than likely not. Due to genetic makeup, males typically have more strength and height, which would give them an unfair advantage over a female competitor. In the case of sports, I feel gender testing is totally acceptable and should be considered fair if the gender of the athlete is in question. The athlete is opening him or herself up to the scrutiny of a sport that has established rules to the gender of the team. If there is no deception involved, then the true gender of the athlete will not affect the participation of the sport. Measuring gender in the everyday world is a controversial prospect. The question should not be, what am I? Moreover, it should be, how do I see myself? One's gender at birth will sometimes produce feelings of confusion. An individual born a male may see himself as a female trapped in a man's body. Solutions to this could be the individual seeking out sex reassignment surgery or simply dressing the part of a female or a male. The same situation holds true for a female who identifies as a male. Something to consider with sex reassignment surgery is that the changing one's gender does not necessarily fix the psychosocial conflicts that the person has before the surgery. While growing up, most of us received positive reinforcement from other people around us so that we could develop a positive self-esteem. When looking at how gender should be measured, we should see a person how they wish to be seen and not condemn that person because their outer shell does not fit how we feel on the inside. We have to exist in this world together, and it will be a lot easier if we could get over the hang-ups of a person's gender and what we think that person should be or how they should live their life. It is not up to us to decide how a person lives. It is up to us to make the world a better place.